The course of the last year and a half, how have you seen each guy develop?
Just starting with Jack. Two things. Jack, the time that Jack's had in between when we last played and now, he's really got to invest mentally in the offense, what we're trying to do. When he was playing, he was out there playing the game, not knowing what was really going on from a defensive standpoint. He could tell you what our plays were, but why, he probably didn't understand that. So we got to do a deep dive into all that with this time, which is awesome. And then Jack's really transformed his body. A couple months before he got here, he broke his leg, and he was on the shelf for a long time. So when he was playing, he wasn't in great shape. He was big and couldn't move great. He's slimmed down now, body fat's way down. He's moving great. So he's really developed physically and mentally in terms of understanding what we're trying to do. And now he's a much different athlete than what he was when he played.
And you could tell the game has probably slowed down for him a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how does that help a quarterback?
That's the best. I mean, truly living and going through those experiences are the best thing, and those are the best teachers. You know what I mean? And it's funny. Jack will watch himself from old cut-ups, and he almost laughs at who that player was and the decisions that he was making. So yeah, the fact that we've had this time to work on our game, you know what I mean? In all aspects, has made him such a better player with a better understanding.
In developing himself mentally, I just think back to post games in 2019. He'd be very hard on himself.
Yeah.
So you've seen that maturity and development to really turn the page and move on to the next.
Yeah, and anybody that steps on that field, they're going to be their own harshest critic. And you like that, you know what I mean? In the sense of, he's evaluating, what he sees out there. And I think Jack has really high expectations for himself, how he performs. And he always wants to try to be better. How can I do this better? What about? Do you like this? Do you like the way that my rhythm and tempo is going here and there? And those characteristics are going to help Jack big time.
And he seems to have a gunslinger mentality. Is that something you look to try to coach out of him during camp? Or do you let him take chances to figure out what he can fit into tight spots and things of that nature? Is there a fine line there?
I do think there's a very fine line there. They're playing the quarterback position. You can't hesitate. There can't be hesitation, and there's got to be confidence in your ability. There's got to be confidence in what you're seeing with your eyes. There's got to be confidence that if I put this ball into a window, the receivers are going to make plays. You know what I mean? And there has to be that mentality to be good. If you hesitate, you're late, and bad things happen. It is the mindset that I have to win the game on this play. That's what you have to control, in my opinion. The extended, I'm extended, now I'm throwing the ball way back across my body up into the air. Those type of plays that if you can manage those and keep us off, manage negatives. Truthfully, if you manage negatives, keep us at even, keep us at zero. You know what I mean? Move your feet and get what you can. But managing those negatives is the coaching stuff early on, especially in camp. You know what I mean? Because those decisions hurt the team. They put everybody in a bad situation. So the gunslinger attitude, that you like that. You know what I mean? You need that to be successful, especially at this level. It's managing the real balance.
And then when it comes to Steven, a very talented player, do you feel like he needed to improve his leadership the most? Is that one of the intangibles that he needed to improve most during this?
I think it's a confidence thing with Steven, honestly, and he's developed that a lot in this time that we've played. Leadership, in my opinion, is something that you can't force it. You can't say, "Hey, Steven, go be a better leader." That's got to come intrinsically, I think, a little bit. Obviously, when you're a quarterback of a football team, you inherit that. You inherit that responsibility a little bit. Steven has developed. He's really matured physically, mentally, and some of those leadership characteristics are definitely starting to come out.
What did his performance in the second half at UCF, I think it was, do in terms of the perception of his of him among the coaching staff, among the team, just to go out there playing injured and really had a solid second half.
Yeah, it was funny because
last question, but
nobody knew he was hurt. It wasn't until after the game in the locker room. He couldn't get his shoulder pads off. I helped him get his shoulder pads off. I said, "What's up?" He said, "I couldn't lift my arm." What do you mean you can't lift your arm? And Bob and Doc came over and touched me. I think he broke your collarbone. And it was one of those things. I started talking to him. When did that happen? And he's like, "I think in the second quarter." So you're like, "Oh." So that game. Steven's a competitor. At the end of the day, Steven's going to go compete. Even in the last spring, Coach made the quarterbacks live for a couple practices and some scrimmages, and Steven was excited, and Steven was running the ball and called more quarterback runs, and like, here we go. Steven's a very tough kid. He's a very prideful kid. But if you were to say, what did that performance put in my brain? Just Steven got an opportunity, he made the most of it, but he went out and really competed hard, which was exciting.
Speaking of competition, what are you going to be looking forward to most, or not looking forward to, but evaluating most between now and making a decision with the rest of the staff on who the guy is?
Yeah,
when it works, it's great.
To be honest with you, it's consistency. Which guy, helps our offense get in and out of bad plays in the run game and the pass game, who takes advantage of opportunities, who manages the negatives that are inevitably going to pop up.
How are you?
Nice to meet you. Who does the offensive unit gravitate towards? You know what I mean? Because a quarterback can do a lot of good things, but if that unit doesn't believe in them, then they follow him. So it's going to be those things, but consistent performance, and that brings the guys with you.